Hello folks, Frankie Day here, back again on YouTube. Okay guys, tonight's presentation on YouTube is 3 new kits and 1 lost and found. Okay guys, the final reveal for my second entry for Clint's The Mad Modelers Go Big Go Home group build, featuring my BF2C Helldiver. I'll have it done by this Friday. I know folks are supposed to have it done a couple days back, but I had to take care of my wife. She got pretty ill, and but she gets these steroid shots all the time because it clears up stuff in her lungs, and right now her lungs is about as dry as a desert oasis right now. And she's in really good shape. She's recuperated real fine. And what it does when people, diabetics, when they get these steroid shots, it brings up your blood sugar high. Her blood sugar was over 400. And she passed out in my arms. I said, I thought the good Lord took her from me. I just about lost it, boys. I just about lost it. And she came around and we took her to the Kettering Hospital, and the doctors pulled her off with steroid shots. Says no more. Nothing wrong with her lungs. Her lungs are fine. So she'll be home tomorrow. Everything's fine, guys. She's back in shape again. And I got behind my modeling because of this, so it's understandable. When you got somebody in your family who you love and care for, and there's no time to build models and like that, your mind is elsewhere, not in your modeling. So I took it in the heat pretty well. So right now I'm back on the modeling bench. I do a little work on my BF2C. She's almost done, folks. She's almost done. I've got a few things. I got about a good hour and a half's work on it, and she's all ready for the final review. And I'll put her away and prepare for another group build. And okay, guys, getting back to the topic of the video. So anyway, folks, my wife is fine. She'll be home tomorrow. I'm very happy. I got 3 kits today. I found one I haven't seen in about 50, 60 years. Down below in the Motion Locker, I'll open up a box. I found this and a couple other ones in there, and I'll be showing those too. So I had a good day today, guys. A very good day. Okay, guys, I went to see Russ down at Smitty's Hobby Shop, and since we're on the subject of Smitty's Hobby Shop, fellas, I'd like to thank the fella out there that gave Smitty a shout out and mentioned me, you know, and he shook my hand and said, doggone Frank, thanks for the shout out. I said, shout out about what? He says, one of your YouTube fans on there called me up and wanted to come down, wanted to know the directions of where I'm at, and he wanted to buy some kits. I said, well, I gave him directions out, he bought a bunch of kits and talked about me, and so anyway, I'd like to thank the gentleman right there. God love you, sir. Thank you very much. It makes this old man smile. Russ was happy. I was happy. Okay, guys, let's get to the kits now, folks. Okay, guys, in the beginning of the video, enough chatter. I got this. This kit's probably no stranger to you guys. Perhaps one of you, or quite a few of you, maybe all of you, has got one. He's in the stash. This is the first time I've seen this before, because when I seen Russ today, he flagged me over and showed me, Frank, we get some new models from Reville, Germany. Oh, great. There's a big one back here you probably like, and here it is. This is Boom Voice B222 flying boat, folks. This is a big, huge, colossal kit, to say the least. This is how big my hand is to this box. And, of course, this box probably ain't no bigger than the rest of them out there, but this is a big kit in the scale of 172. This aircraft here, folks, is a reconnaissance flying boat. It served 2 purposes for the Luftwaffe. It more or less escorted their convoys into to safe passage and anti-submarine patrol. It also it worked with the U-boats by giving directions where the British or the American fleet's at, so they can get their bearings and go out there and do their job. And this aircraft was very short-lived. It came out probably late in 1942. And by 1944, during the war's end in Europe, a lot of these were stationed over there in Norway. And after the war, all these were captured by the British troops. And I guess Rowe company who made the Princess Flying Boat probably got a lot of ideas from this aircraft. This is a very short-lived aircraft indeed it is, folks. We'll come over and take a look at this thing. Go make a fast inbox review. There we be. Okay guys, as you can see, this is a very huge colossal kit. And the aircraft here is a very good sized model. I've opened it once before and looked at it, and I was really impressed with the fidelity of detail that's incorporated in this kit. It's molded in gray plastic. Now, as you guys can see how big the fuselage is thing, this is my arm. And I got more than those too. My fingers will not extend past the rudder of this aircraft right here. That shows you how big the fuselage is. This thing is a big airplane. Once you open this box, fellas, you're greeted with one big, huge, colossal baggie full of these parts. And you got another baggie with clear parts puts wrapped in for shipping and keep them getting from scratched up. So like I say, it don't take much for acetate to scratch, folks. So that's a very good idea because now all these model companies now are doing this method by bagging them up in a separate baggies to keep them getting scratched. Instead of opening up the baggie here and viewing all the parts, folks, and well, I'll make another inbox review of this when I get to build this thing. This may be pretty close in the future. This thing's starting to call on me. This is a big airplane. It's almost the size of the Martin Mars. And of course, Martin Mars is just a little bigger. It's a little bigger. It tastes bigger. The wingspan of this aircraft is 46 meters, something like that, about 150 feet. It's big. It's big. And this aircraft was designed to more or less for reconnaissance, help work with the U-boats and positioning of the British and American fleet, and also for exporting cargo and goods for the troops, and probably supplying U-boats too at sea. And it's one hell of a flying boat for its time, guys. It just it didn't get a chance to reprove itself victoriously, but it's more or less a dumb old flying boat. Okay, guys. So, and the instructions are, I think there's 70 steps to these instructions. Because I would read the instructions just to be curious how this thing goes together. And I was very impressed. Okay, guys. We'll start out with the decals right here. On the decals here sheet, as you can see, is nothing but a sheet of decals here. You've got the instrument panel right there. Also, probably one of the consoles on there, maybe the radio console too, the radio dial facing panels. I don't know. But anyway, the decal sheet's pretty thick, fellas. But I can see it's pretty thick. It'll take a lot of goddamn solvent to bring that stuff down pretty good. So anyway, folks, this is the decal sheet to give you a kit. It's a good decal sheet. It's going to take a lot of solvent to bring it down. I'll set the decals over here out of the way. Take a fast ticky through the instructions. Of course, here's the finished aircraft itself. Let me back up that camera a little bit more, guys, so you can see a little more. Here's the finished aircraft itself right here in model form instead of on the box top. And it's a very detailed, beautiful looking flying boat it is, folks. It's a mid-wing flying boat. I've never seen a flying boat that the wing's almost the center of gravity of the fuselage. Very impressive. Instructions are bilingual. As you open up instructions, like all kits in general, especially Velo Germany, or all of them nowadays, all these icons, which we all pretty familiar with. And of course, they give you the color call-outs right here. These are your color call-outs for your colors. They call for probably RLM colors, maybe some Velo Germany colors. I don't know, but it's Hollowbrow, Dunkelgrau, and Schwarzgreen. That's what it is. And so here's the sprues, the sprues, all the parts on there. And so you got a problem identifying parts. You always go back to the parts list on there and we'll clarify the parts that you need. And Of course, you got your windows, you got to install inside there. Make sure it's all painted inside first. Oh yeah, folks. Another tip is putting windows inside. A lot of mamas, even I did one time. Always right here where it's recessed at, so the tabs these fit flush outside of the fuselage. A lot of guys use white glue or tacky glue or just that kind of glue in nature, or PVC, whatever they use. The strongest, the best, and safest method without yelling, marring, or causing any problems at all, guys, and dries hard, and no fear of the windows falling out inside the fuselage. We're removing the liquid masking around the windows. Use 5 minutes of epoxy. Once it's mixed quite well, take a toothpick and fill each one of these recessed panels with epoxy, and take the windows and place them in it very gingerly, carefully. And then once they dry 5, 6, 8 minutes, whatever it takes, they won't pop through once you put the masking on there. Because I have a lot of problems, guys, with windows like that by applying regular water-based glues. It don't work. It pops out. And in general, here's the fuselage construction. You got your floors, cargo floor, you got your cockpit. And remarkably enough, this thing has no beaching gear. I don't know what kind of beaching gear that this flying boat incorporated. It probably had a big old huge cradle that sat on and they pulled it. I don't know. There's no beaching gear to this kit. There's 70 steps here, fellas. You can see how it goes together. And then as we review the instructions very carefully, there's no beaching gear, so this thing probably had a different type of beaching gear. It was never made for this here kit like that, the short Sunderland by Airfix. Okay, guys, you get 2 different paint schedules right here. Of course, this is the one I'll be painting right here, guys. This color here is more or less Dunkelgrund, and also Schwarzgrund, and also hollow brown bottom. And that's about it. This over here is on telling what it is. It's probably a different kind of paint schedule. This I don't know. I'm pretty much in doubt, but one old curiosity. One of these days I'll come review it and find out what it really is. Okay, guys, that concludes the fast inbox review of kit number 1 that I got today from Russ out at Spitty's Hobby Shop. Anybody in Dayton, Ohio, go see old Russ down there. He'll take care of you. He'll give you deals like you've never seen before. This man's a very wonderful person. He has a very wonderful heart of generosity. Okay, guys, here's one right here. Doesn't need very much introduction. This is the Titanic of the 16th century. Right here, guys, he got this today too. This kit here is no stranger to the enthusiasts. This is the Wassa, and by Airfix, and the scale is 1/144 scale, and 1/144 scale. And I kid you not, folks, this is a very sizable kit. Now this box is unorthodox. It says open up like a lot of boxes does. It opens up at the end only. I don't like that, so I won't do a inbox review of this until I get the kit going. And it's a beautiful kit. And as you can see, it's a wonderful ship. At one time, there was a design falter in the construction of this ship, which caused it a founder, because there was two different problems. What I figured out why this thing blew over. This thing here was almost on its maiden voyage. It didn't even get a chance to leave Stockholm Harbor. And when this thing left its moorings, going underway up the river in Stockholm, a gale of wind came up and blew it, and she hilled the port. And that tells you right there, she was very light on ballast, and her ballast was not distributed evenly to the center line of the keel. And number 2, at the bottom of the ship is not wide enough, not bulbous and wide enough to allow displacement for this thing to be able to heel the port to starboard. Anyway, folks, the beam of this ship, the way it was constructed, was too narrow. And with the weight of all these cannons on there, and sailors, that more or less was a factor which countered the ballast of this ship, caused her to heel the port and sink. She was down for hundreds of years, and they finally, by 1960, 61, somewhere around there in those years, they raised her, and she'd been restored. And now her remains, and what's left for Mighty Mighty Hulk, was a very massive ship at the time. It's still preserved, and it's an exhibit there at that museum there in Stockholm. So anybody in your neck of the woods, the UK, go there. It's a very beautiful experience. And what's one of the good features about this kit, folks, it comes with these little paints too. I just found out they had a baggie inside of it containing 2 tubes of Humbro poly cement and also 2 fine nice brushes, and you got 12 paints, and all for this kit right here, designed for this kit. And I don't know when I'll be able to build this, folks, and believe you me, I got enough kits here that need to be finished and before I proceed any further. And you never know when I might be able to work on this thing. Tomorrow, next week, next day. Anyway, it goes back in the stash pile, and maybe someday real quick I'll be able to work on it. And somehow the ship's calling on me. Okay, folks, so this thing retails for $49.99, and I got it at my discount for $35, which is not bad. I'm very happy about that. Oh, incidentally, on the Viking bomber, the flying boat, it was listed for $38.20. I got it for $25. Now, for extra bonus right here, appreciation for the shout out, he pulled me over behind the cash register. I said, Frankie, well, here's something interesting you. I said, like what? Right here. This is the Monogram A-10 Warthog or Thunderbolt used during the Gulf War. Tank buster. A very, very mighty aircraft. And I got it for free. I guess appreciation for the shout out, wherever it was. Main reason is right here he couldn't sell this thing is because we pulled it out of the case. The carton contains a dozen of these kits. When he pulled it out, there was a big old hole right there at the side, so ain't no way he could sell a kit for $26 with a big old gaping hole on the box. So this is a brand new kit, folks. The only thing's bad that this really got hammered. And as far as the hammering got, is right here on the structure piece right here. Keep this rigid piece of cardboard, the structure, keep this box from caving in. And the instructions right here are very forward. Gives you 2 different paint schedules on it. There's one here that has 2 different grays. And over here is some other kind of camo, probably a light green, dark gray, dark green, green colors there. You got light gray in this one here, satin white, olive drab, and 2 different types of grays on here, more or less like ghost grays. And the decals are right here. They're very, very thick. These are none of the typical Breville or Monogram decals. And right here, we'll take a look at here. As you can see right here, we got some high visibility stars and bars on there, and a lot of stenciling on there. That'll dress up the ship on nice. After paint Ghost Gray's colors, the Ghost Gray colors on there, would be excellent candidate for a good light wash. That'll really bring out the high fidelity details. Okay, guys. The instruction sheet here is nothing straightforward. This is typical Revell. It's like Revell Germany. The assembly steps on it, color callouts, parts list, and the construction itself, all the way up to the paint schedule. So I got this free from Russ, and I guess I was really taken by surprise when he said there was a shout out on one of my fans on YouTube. I said, my God. And I said, man, I wonder who the gentleman could be. Who is that masked man? Whatever he is, he'll reveal himself. I'm quite sure he will. Okay, fellas, that's the 3 new kits I got today. And the last killer dealer of all, I went down below and did some fishing around, and I caught the fish. And right here is a 1963 Frog North American V25 Mitchell tube. This is an early C model and was used for the RAF. And of course on the back of the box is a paint schedule. That's all there were. There weren't no paint instructions inside the instructions, so you got to be educated enough to know what color these things are to paint it. So they more or less give you an idea of a port view, a top and bottom view, but the nature of how it's painted. And the kit itself is very gorgeous. It's beautiful.